Salem is an award-winning burlesque and sideshow entertainer based out of San Antonio, Texas. Known as the Glamour Ghoul of your wettest nightmares, Salem has haunted stages across America with his grim and glam burlesque acts rooted in prohibition-era nostalgia. Salem grew up dancing on local stages such as the Arneson River Theater and Guadalupe Theater, and has taken his love for entertainment and the road, performing at live shows, horror conventions, and festivals around the country. As a queer, male-identifying Latino, he feels it is important to spread a message of inclusivity and self-worth while smashing negative stereotypes and stigma. In addition to stage shows, Salem is also a published alternative model and co-owner of the Vanity Parlor salon in Olmos Park. Folks, Salem.
PechaKucha, how are we doing tonight? So before I get started, part of being a professional entertainer is being a responsible one. So I am an adult entertainer, and my shows are only for an adult audience. There will be some risque photos shown tonight. Everything is covered and everything is in proper guidelines of what can be presented. But part of being responsible is educating my audience, and if there are minors in here, I just need to preface that I am an adult entertainer, and I by no means am trying to traumatize anyone. Thank you. So, who here has been to a burlesque show? Okay. All right, who has never been to a burlesque show? Few, okay. So for those who don't know what burlesque is, it is a style of entertainment that actually started in the 1860s and gained some really big traction in America around the 1920s. It was typically a variety show that ended with a female striptease act. And between the 20s and 60s, it pretty much became a strip show. We kind of lost the variety part and we're just like, hi, we're gonna get naked. So my name is Salem. I am known as the Glamour Ghoul of your wettest nightmares. And what that means is I'm spooky and I take my clothes off for money. And let's go ahead and get started. Can somebody hold my poodles? Big Bird may or may not have died for this costume, so rest in peace. Okay, so if we're gonna talk about my journey as an entertainer and how I got to where I am right now, we're gonna start all the way from the beginning. All right, so this is baby Salem here. I guess I always had an affinity for being naked and wearing a good shoe. I do remember I always just was obsessed with the sound of my mom's heels on the tile, and I still love that sound. I was always a bit of an individual, and I know I always had a very large voice, but I was not always able to express that. But it was always, always there, and I was always, you know, a total character within the safety of my own house before I found my confidence and voice. But shown here, I was always pretty much a mess. Pete Burns. I remember being a child and seeing this beautiful person on TV and thinking, holy shit, I can do that and like get paid for it. And he was just such a remarkable human being to me, and it always stuck with me. And it was just someone that I aspired to be, and it was a light, even in the dark times. Again, I was always a bit of a character. I remember I probably did my hair for like a whole freaking hour before this photo shoot. I picked my outfit, I picked my background. And as much of an individual I was always still very, very, very shy. Here was first grade. My mom was very supportive when I told her I wanted to join dance. My elementary school offered tap. And this is kind of where all of this started. I put that first sequin vest on and just never looked back. But I was the only boy in the class, and as daunting as it was, it really helped build a lot of character in me because I had to develop a tough skin. This brought me all the way to high school, where I danced flamenco professionally at the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center here on the West Side. I continued with dance because it gave me such confidence and I could be whoever I wanted to be on that stage. In 2015, I did my first burlesque show and I came in with a bang. I ate fire because extra. And it exposed me into this whole nightlife industry that I just immediately fell in love with. Initially, my character was a bit of a garbage clown, self-proclaimed. I started touring the world, country, almost world now, but started touring the country doing freak show acts like setting rat traps off on my tongue. I loved the shock factor and I loved hiding behind the face and the hair and the makeup. It was something that gave me a lot of strength. This was still in my garbage clown days where I won an award at a burlesque festival, which they're basically like the Super Bowl of the burlesque world. It's a lot of glitter and a lot of bitches in one room. But I won an award in a Party City wig, and that was to prove that my talent was being showcased, not what I looked like. I then began to travel, and here I am on a flyer at Horror Hound Weekend, which is a huge, huge horror convention with A-list actors, and it was amazing to see my name there with some of the people that I grew up admiring. Very surreal moment. I would be nowhere where I am today if it wasn't for my amazing, beautiful mother, who has totally supported me since day one, and she's right here in the front row of the audience. Nowhere without her. I would not have the foundation. So a few years into garbage clown aesthetic, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna polish this up a bit. And I rebranded my character into a glamour ghoul, very inspired by Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I just polished the product that I already had and decided that I was gonna take this a little bit more serious and I wanted to represent a little bit more professionalism. This is an example of a way more polished look of mine, where I started touring the country, doing bigger and bigger events and bigger shows, and I feel that the package now matched the work that I was doing on stages across the country. The costumes were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This is my Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas that has taken me all over the country, stages all over the place. My amazing supportive partner, Zachary Smith, is the engineer of this amazing costume. And this is an example of how big and elaborate my costumes and presentation started to become. This was a very defining moment for my career because I got to play the main stage at House of Blues Dallas. And it was amazing to walk down that stairwell where all of these iconic bands signed their names, and seeing that before I stepped out onto the stage to a sold-out house was very surreal for me. It has then took me to places like this stage for Corneation, which I had the amazing opportunity of performing 6 shows a few years back. And I started to realize that I can really do something with this platform. And this is an example of utilizing a platform for a charitable reason. That then snowballed into the web party put on by San Antonio AIDS Foundation, where I was once again given the honor of utilizing my stage presence to bring money and awareness to a really amazing cause, and a local cause, which is amazing. Now, no matter how big I get, and no matter where the world takes me, I will never forget that I had once had to perform in a basement in the middle of Dayton, Ohio, for us to get gas money to go on to the next show. So no matter how big we get, the roots are there. My end goal as an entertainer is to continue to work with charities from all around the country and local. My dream would be to be the next Elvira one day, male Elvira. But most importantly is my entire message is staying true to yourself. And if you have a child who is having a hard time or who is a little bit different, I want you to go home today and tell them that one day they can have a space where they will be celebrated for that and they will get fucking paid for it. Thank you so much.
crossed right over the other side. But like, oh no, there are obstacles. Not a clean walk. Glad to have you. Oh man. So see, I had questions before, but we'll get to the end of the thing where you like want me to at least. I think you may give me to dance with a handkerchief. Otherwise, I'm not sure.
We'll see.
We'll see for a bit. But here's a question that I wanted to ask: where did you get the black and white striped pants? Because I feel like I had the same thing and I almost wore them.
Those were probably honestly from like a Hot Topic or something. Today's Salem would probably gag of wearing something off the rack on stage, but we all start somewhere.
I mean, it's all about how you put things together.
True.
I feel like this outfit's like somewhat like half is out the rack, so it happens. Oh man. I don't know why.
I normally have this effect on men. I'm just saying.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Okay. You're center stage, you're solo right now on this stage. You've done coordination before. I've also done coordination. So yeah. But when you're part of an ensemble is one thing. When you're a solo act, it's different. Like, what's the difference when all the attention is on you specifically, like in this context?
The difference is it's, you have to really be on and really represent what it is that you're striving for. And I feel that it's my duty as an entertainer when I am booked or hired is to give 110% and give my audience a perfect show. So I would say in working individually versus a group, there's just a bit more pressure, but also there's more control because, if Mary in the back didn't get her counts right, it's not reflecting on you.
And as I'm asking everybody, what didn't make the cut?
So what didn't make the cut is, I'll try to keep this short. When I went on my first tour in the Midwest, which I had my hesitations, but it ended up being a really enlightening experience, I came to find out that my biggest following ended up being straight men. After every show, there would be at least one wife who would be like, I need you to take a picture with my husband because he thinks you are amazing and hot, but he is so scared to come up. And sure enough, there'd be this 6'5", corn-fed, Midwestern man in the corner like, and I'd be like, hey, what's up? And approach, and they'd be like, oh, that was like really hot, man. So what didn't make the cut is me sitting on the back of one of these corn-fed Midwestern men. And I put a Donald Trump mask on them, and I had a whip in my hand.
I love the idea that picture is somewhere now. And yet you had one more thing that you wanted to, like I said, maybe handkerchief. I don't know, we can hold jacket right now, but yeah. I'm more a Seth Meyers than a Fallon, but this is a very Fallon move.
So Vicky wanted me to do either a performance or demonstration for you all, but I figured I would coach Anthony in the art of the tease. So Anthony, you got this. You got
Seth
this.
Meyers would yes and it, so okay.
All right. You're just gonna take my direction. It's gonna be very easy.
All right.
And the audience is gonna lose their shit.
Okay.
Okay, Anthony, so I want you to present this beautiful sport coat that you have on.
Okay.
Present it to the audience. How would you present it? Show it off. Show it off. Show it off. There we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, we just got right into it.
It's okay. I've also done coordination.
So, with the art of the tease, it's all about building anticipation. It's all about building to a climax. So we got there kind of quick.
I've heard this also.
But for example, when I've coached newer entertainers before, I tell them, think of, for example, your glove being so heavy, and you have to take it off so slow because it's so heavy. And it kind of hurts. It kind of hurts. And the more skin I show, the more the audience loses their mind. And if you get quiet, it stops. But if you keep on, that's just a little demonstration of the art of the tease. Thank you so much.